to the Connect Show, where we're connecting students to careers. Today we have special guest Lily Kieliszewski to talk with us about her career journey and some of the really amazing things she's been able to do with engineering. Lily, thanks for joining us. Let's start off with talking about where you started your school path and how it has led to where you are today.
Absolutely, yeah. So I kind of started getting into engineering because I had gone to Ubley and my father was a coach for our robotics program there. So I was kind of tied into that already with him staying after school and working on that, and then I ended up becoming a member. And that's when I realized I really liked STEM and math classes and engineering. So that's when I decided my junior year to go to the tech center and take, it was originally called like a mechanical engineering and architectural engineering course, and now it's just called CAT. And I took that my junior and senior year, and through that I realized that I really wanted to go the engineering route, and I ended up doing some OJT my senior year as well.
So where did you start your OJT at?
So I went to Gemini Plastics in Ubley, which worked out really well. I would start my mornings there. I would work, I think, 7:30 to 11:30, and then after that I would go back and finish up my classes. And I did a lot of CAD work there. I worked in their CAD department. I was a CAD technician intern. So I did a lot of 2D and 3D CAD work, and I really enjoyed it, and that's kind of where I started to fall in love with the plastics industry as well.
So you did that for 4 days a week, correct?
I did, yep.
And then you did that over the summer?
Yes, they had actually, once I finished up and graduated my senior year, they had hired me full-time for the summer.
Okay, and then you applied at what college and attend what college?
I applied to quite a few colleges, but I ended up choosing Western Michigan University, and I actually chose them because of my degree, Engineering Design Technology, which isn't a very common one, but it's a more design-focused engineering degree. I originally kind of wanted to go just at mechanical engineering, but because I had so much interest in CAD design from the Tech Center and from OJT, I realized that's what I wanted to do, and so that's what I'm currently studying.
And how did like the Tech Center and OJT help you at Western, like obtaining maybe different internships or just working in your classes?
Yeah, it helped me a lot. Class-wise, I had done dual enrollment as well my senior year, so I had a couple extra credits that transferred, so I got to get ahead in certain ones with gen eds. But also I had taken quite a few CAD courses, which had given me a bit of a head start compared to my other classmates. I had some classmates that had never touched CAD. They knew that they wanted to be in engineering, but they had no idea what went into it exactly. So I kind of had a bit of a head start, and it made learning in the classroom so much easier because I already knew some of the functions in the CAD softwares, or I knew the design fundamentals of it. And the OJT position at Gemini Plastics just really gave me a huge jump start career-wise as well. I was hired by Magna Exteriors after my freshman year at Western, and they, if you aren't familiar, they work with a lot of OEM companies. So I was actually in a subdivision that worked with Ford. I didn't do much because I was a freshman out of college. I mainly just put holes in parts, but I got to see a lot of cool designs that I think I still can't talk about to this day. So it was a really, really neat experience. It was down in Troy, so in the Detroit area as well. They took me to do a lot of different tours and see injection molding machines in the plastics industry. So again, I was getting exposed to that as well, and having my prior knowledge from Gemini kind of helped me stick out a little bit too. I was able to ask different questions than everybody else, not just how does this work, but why does that do that? Because I already knew a couple other properties and different systems from Gemini.
So you've done Gemini and then you've done Magna. Where else have you worked so far?
I've also done an internship just this previous summer at Gast Manufacturing. They were a bit different for me. I decided to go out of my comfort zone and look kind of outside of the automotive and plastics industry. Gast is actually mainly a health and human services industry. They make air compressors and air motors. So the best way I can describe it to people is, you know, the Starbucks Nitro Brew coffees?
Okay.
Starbucks Nitro Brew. They make the air motors that create like the little bubble and fizzies in there. And then also when you go to the doctor's office and you get your teeth clean and they have you bite down on that vacuum and suck out all the water that they put in there, they make the pumps for that. So it was definitely a different experience for me. It was a lot of pistons and learning how to design for a health industry as well, which is very different than the automotive industry. But it was very, very cool.
So it gave you a better learning experience. It broadened your horizons of the availability of what you can do.
And just because it wasn't something I was necessarily 100% as interested in as I am with the plastics industry, it still gave me a lot of experience, and also it's helping me in my thermodynamics class right now because we work a lot with pistons.
And at school right now, it looks like you brought a project with us. What can you explain what this project is and what you did at class?
Absolutely. So I'm also currently going for a plastics processing minor. And so in that class, we do injection molding. So this was a flying disc, also known as a Frisbee, but that's just the trade name for it. This is a flying disc that we make at Western Michigan University. This is a flying disc that I created in my lab. And so there we kind of study the flow of plastics, the different kinds of plastics. This is a high-density polyethylene plastic. It's a lot more flexible. You'll actually see a lot of products are made out of high-density polyethylene, but we just kind of learned how to injection mold and what kind of goes into that process, and it was really cool. And so I brought one of these to kind of show off and talk about a little bit, but that was a very hands-on lab.
So how long have you been in school for?
This is currently my 3rd year, so I have 1 year left.
You have 1 year left?
Yep.
And you'll be graduating with your bachelor's and...
Yes, I will have a bachelor's in engineering design technology, and then I will also be graduating with a math minor and then the plastics processing minor as well.
And you were talking about you have a new internship coming up soon?
I do. I'm really excited. I just recently signed to work for General Motors as their design intern next summer. So I'm hoping that will also roll into possibly something after graduation.
That would be excellent.
It would be.
So for students looking to get into this field of work, what advice would you give to them?
Don't be scared to ask questions. I've been known to ask a lot of questions, but it's important, especially if it'll help you learn. I think there are some people out there in your classrooms that also have that question, but they're a little too nervous to ask it. So ask the questions, even if it might feel a little silly. If it'll help you understand it better, go for it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us and for being our guest here on the Connect Show. And thank you all for watching this content today. Check out our YouTube channel for more career stories from around the great state of Michigan. Have a great day.